Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the messaging mistakes you are making as a service provider that is costing you thousands each month. And more importantly, it's costing you those dream high-level clients that you truly want to be working with. Hey there, welcome to this video. My name is Aisha, and if you are new here, I am an online sales consultant, coach, have been doing this full-time and have worked with amazing service providers, helping them from designing their first ever high-ticket offers, bringing this to market, building audiences, quitting their 9-to-5s, selling 15K deals, the full client acquisition shebang. And here I am talking to you about messaging, okay? Because I know that right now you are posting content every day because what you want is for people to reach out to you ready to pay. Okay, so if this is you, then watch this video because number 3 is my favorite one, and I know your mind is going to be blown. So I will talk about what you're doing right now, why it's not working, and I'll explain it from the buyer psychology perspective because that is what ultimately my expertise is. And if at the end of the video you feel called to go deeper, I will give you a few options of how we can solve this together. So let's get into mistake number 1. You are simply speaking to the wrong person in your content. And this is how that looks like, and this is how it happens. You know, when you're talking to people either in the DMs or whatever, wherever you're having conversation, and all they're doing is like telling you, oh, how I'm working on this, I'm not sure if this is what I have to do right now. So they're actually those people that they are experiencing the problem that you can see so clearly, but it hasn't become a pain point yet in their life. And what is actually happening is they are telling you about their doubts. So you go, okay, this person, I'm talking to this person right now, so I'm going to focus my content on trying to tell this person that they have a problem. I'm trying to convince this person that they have a problem and that I'm the one that has the solution for them. What happens though is that in your content, you're speaking to that person that is not ready to buy yet. And that there's no problem with having content that's educating people because that's also part of nurturing. But the function of your content is to bring in those people that are ready to buy right now. And whenever you are convincing people in your content that, hey, this is the problem you have, right? So that typically looks like those, those formats. It's like, you don't have a this problem, you have a that problem, right? You're trying to convince someone of what is the problem that they have. That means that person is not an empowered buyer yet because they don't understand yet why they have that problem in the first place. So when you're speaking to them, they're simply the wrong person. They are not the lead that's going to come to you ready to buy right now. And what ends up happening for the person that is ready to buy, they overlook you. They look at your content and they're scrolling by because they're like, I already know I have this problem. I just need someone that's going to help me solve this right now. So you're simply speaking to the wrong person. That is mistake number 1. And this is costing you so much because you are posting content consistently. I know you. You're posting content, you're wanting people to come in, but you're just speaking to the wrong person. And what ends up happening when you're speaking to the wrong person is, yes, those people you're talking to right now, they might buy from you, but not now. They're not going to drop thousands on you right now. It's going to be more months of nurturing because remember, they have to go through that process of discovery themselves, of convincing themselves that this is indeed the problem, and then they still have to convince themselves that you are the one for them. So as you can see, there is many steps ahead for this specific person. And at the end, I will explain to you how it is you are going to be shifting that. So, oh my God, stay tuned. Mistake number 2 that you're making in your messaging right now is a lot of your content is focused on telling people what they're doing wrong. And I know you know this, right? This goes in alignment with like wanting to convince people that they have a problem, but now you're talking to the ones that they know they have a problem, but all you're doing is talking about the problem they have and telling them what it is they are doing wrong, right? So the typical pain point marketing. Pain point marketing is not bad. Why? Because one of the main reasons why people take action might surprise you is because of fear, right? So fear, wanting to get away from the undesirable, is a big motivator for people to take action, which is why pain point marketing works. But what happens when you just keep telling people that they're doing something wrong, right? You're educating them, you're giving them the logic, you're trying to explain to them, this is why when you do this, you're not getting the result. This is the type of content I'm talking about, which I know for a fact you are posting right now. The reason why this isn't calling in that high level buyer is because you're speaking a lot to the logic. You're trying to explain with people with explanation, hey, this is why this doesn't work. You're educating them on what they're doing and why that's wrong, right? But that person, they're literally reading through that and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'll save this. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But what do I do now? Right? So you're giving them all the reasons they're doing things wrong, you're educating them, but their brain isn't feeling any desire to be buying from you right now. Their brain is just logically, it's going like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Oh yeah, this service provider is giving me good information. Perhaps I'll save their information and I'll read through their content. The reason why it doesn't work is because these high-level buyers you want, they're not making decisions from logic. People do not make decisions from logic. They make decisions from emotions and then they use logic to back it up. So if in your messaging, all you're doing is giving them more information, educating on what's wrong, you're not activating any desire, you're not giving them what it is they need to be making that buying decision. So stay till the end because I will tell you how to shift this. So number 3, which is exactly my favorite, and this is the one that I see with so many service providers that we do, and I used to do it as well, so hey, no judgment here. You're motivating people in your content. Okay? You're telling them what's possible for them. You're sharing your story, how you went from this to this, right? You're telling them so they can see that big gap, so they can feel like it's possible for them, right? And what ends up happening is you get good engagement. People reach out to you and they say things like, oh, I would love to work with you one day, but not right now, right? I would love to work with you one day when all the stars align. Oh my God, this post you made, it really touched me. So you see, you're moving people emotionally, you're getting engagement, but when you look at the high ticket clients you're signing, it doesn't add up, right? And this is because as good as it feels like for you and for the people reading that you're motivating them, it is creating zero desire for them to buy. You're giving them dopamine hits, right? That's what's happening. You're giving them dopamine hits, but dopamine hits don't get people to pay thousands and spend that money and pay you on the spot, right? What actually gets them to feel those things is having that certainty, right? And that conviction in your process and in you as the person that's able to help them solve that specific problem they have, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people to see you as this person that can get them those results because you're good at motivating. But what it's actually doing to them is just giving them dopamine hits. It's making them feel in touch with the aspirations. But these high-level buyers, they don't really need that because they're already empowered. They already believe that these things are possible for them. So they're not looking for a cheerleader. And that type of content is going to attract people that down the line just need a lot of hand-holding, just need you to validate all their feelings and the ones that make you want to put a fork into your eyes. Okay, so now I explained to you what are the mistakes you're making in your messaging, and now I'm going to tell you what it is you need to be doing right now in this moment if you want to shift this completely and call in this empowered high-level buyer that's ready to pay you on the spot from your content. Okay, you ready for this? Number 1 is you have to identify exactly, okay, and I don't mean create a persona, but you need to be able to identify exactly who is this person that is ready to buy right now. What are they going through? We're talking about real life, real people. People that are literally going through an experience that is so unpleasant, okay, and they're trying whatever they're trying, but it's not working out, and therefore they look at your content and they're like, I need to make this investment right now. Who is that person? That is the first thing you have to do. You need to be able to identify this person. Okay, and the second thing you need to do is you need to engineer your content. You need to design your content for that person that is wanting to make a buying decision right now. And when people are wanting to make buying decisions, good for you to know is that 90% of decisions they are making is happening at a subconscious level. Whatever we're doing consciously, it has already happened on those deeper layers of who you are, right? So it's kind of like your unconscious action is just following what has already been decided at the subconscious level. So your content needs to keep this in mind, and it needs to be designed to provide people the feelings that they need that lead to them to make that decision. Okay, so what that looks like is, why do people pay thousands on the spot? Okay, why is that? And it's not because of the pain. For high-level buyers, they could care less about that because they are not in their feelings. They are just people that want a problem to be solved right now. So what is it that you have to do? Number one is you need to help them feel absolute certainty that your offer, your process is what it is that's going to get them to the outcome that they desire. And number two is they need to be feeling absolute safety and making that investment decision with you. So we're talking about certainty and safety. People feeling this emotion rather than relying on logic, convincing, etc. So they need to feel certainty that you can solve the problem, and they need to feel safe investing together with you. So that means, this is not zooming in on me. That means you need to shift your content away from telling, from convincing, from telling people what they're doing wrong, from educating, to actually be the one that's able to let people know, I see you, I hear you, I know why you're going through this, and this is how you can solve that. Do you see how that's completely different approach from like educating people on what they're doing wrong, convincing people what they need to do? You need to do this. All you have to talk about is those moments when they are thinking, oh, I just want this to be solved. Those are the moments that you need to be able to showcase to them that you see, because that's exactly what they're gonna need to hear from you to feel safe and certain that you are the one to solve this. Okay, so obviously if you want to know how to implement this, this is how we can do this together. Number one is, if you are at the point right now where you're like, okay, I just want this to be fixed now, you're going to book a call with me, and on that call I will ask you a few questions to better understand where you are in your business, what it is you're wanting to work on, and then I will show you what we can implement together to solve this. This is only if you are ready to pay right now on the spot. Okay, if you are at that point where you're like, I want to get to know Aisha better, I want to know what solutions she has, but not now, I just want to understand the process more, you're going to come into my course, my email course, which is mapping out the identity selling system. It's a 5-day course, and you will go at it on your own pace. Okay, so those are the two options. If you're like, okay, I just want to like feel Aisha out, follow me on my socials. Okay, follow me on my socials. I have Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm also on LinkedIn, and make sure you hit the subscribe button here below. I hope this, I was gonna say I hope this email finds you well. This video, I really hope that it gave you a lot of the clarity as to what are the mistakes you're making in your messaging right now and what it is that you need to shift. I will see you in the next one. Bye.